Nkambo, Mujib. I'm a senior research scientist working with NARO under the aquaculture production systems, but also at the same time I'm amongst the leading fish farmers in the country. I'm the director of Eco-Fresh Fish Farms, which is based in Boyikwe. But again, I'm one of the directors of Pala Aquatics, which is another medium fish farm based in Garuga. We are trying to look at how do we work on the fodders and feed, ensuring their availability, but also the quality. One that I will talk for, which is conspicuously missing every time people talk about fodder, is fodder in form of animal-based fodder, like fish silage. If you talk about fodder poultry, think about hay, napier, these grasses. But in many animals, which actually provide us the most consumed animal protein, animals like chicken and fish. When talking about livestock, those are out of livestock. So if you're talking about fodder and fodder for livestock, we are forgetting a very big segment of what feeds us, which is poultry and fish. But on this occasion, I'm really talking a lot more about fish. I'm talking about fodder for fish. We're looking about things like black soldier flies, mokene. We're talking about anchovies. We're talking about rapeseed. Then you add in some animal part, which is like bean meal, soybean, and all of that stuff. So in this particular meeting that we are in, we want to see how do we harness, how do we tap into what you call bycatch. When fishermen go out there to fish, they do harvest a lot of fish which is known to their targeted fish. Like say someone has gone to harvest tilapia, but he ends up getting mokene, getting other smaller pelagics and small fish. They end up discarding that, yet it's already high value protein which could be used as fodder in the fish feeds. We also have a lot of offcuts that come from the fish processing factories, which actually are potential sources of, again, animal protein. But in addition to that, we have also fodder that comes in the form of offcuts from slaughterhouses and abattoirs. Very rare people think about feathers. Feathers are rich in protein. So you're looking at how can we get all of these feathers, bone meal and all of that stuff. How can that be processed to contribute a section of animal protein that is required in fish and poultry feeds. Actually, these days we are also using it in other livestock. We are adding some of these again into cattle feeds. So we are looking at those and thought of the unconventional protein pulses, how they are being used as fodder to ensure cheap and readily available animal feeds. So this is why we are here today. Traditionally, because the feed was readily available, because we are having fewer numbers that we are keeping, people could hardly think about packaging food for those extreme times of the year when the food is not available. But as we look at the numbers doing intensification, you're realizing that we are most likely going to be cut short by the quantities of food that are available. So if you have a functional food and fodder system that ensures that there is available, cost-effective feed and fodder throughout the entire production cycle, then we are ensuring that there are no start-stop gaps within the production cycles. And this cannot be ensured once we have a well-organized built system that looks at the feed and fodder. There are two words that are similar, feed and fodder, and in many cases they tend to be confused. Talking about fodder, using all of these different inputs, they might be plant-based that can be used to either feed the animals directly, or they can now be used they can be mixed to make feeds for these animals. But now what's being taken in is the food. So while we're looking at if you have an efficient system that ensures that these raw materials are there, and then the food, the ready food take is also there, then you're ensuring that those gaps that would have been there in production as a result of shortages in food are being bridged.
Okay, awesome.
If you look at fish farming in Uganda in particular, I think the majority of the feeds that are used by commercial fish farmers are actually imported, either from Mauritius or from Brazil or from Saudi Arabia. Moram is from Saudi Arabia. There's Aquagreen from Vietnam, LFL from Mauritius. The only local factory that we have right now, actually, we have Yoga Chick. Also, there is some feeds that are being made by NARO at our Cultural Research and Development, but the quantities cannot support these big commercial and emerging commercial fish farmers. How does that affect the fish farmer? One, we have times of the year when you look out for feeds when you can't have them. There's that blockage in supply. So sometimes the person, the people who are doing the bulking of the feed here, they don't have enough storage for facilities. But also, they're also worried about keeping too much of it, you should get spoiled during storage. So in so doing, you find farmers at some time of the year they can't access feeds. Yet their cycle, they are already having their fish which is supposed to be fed, which can't be fed, and therefore that prolongs the production cycle. But also, when you're doing planning, you kind of can't fix the cost of the feed, because if we had local feed manufacturers here, there would be a possibility of having contracts. You supply me throughout the entire cycle at this price, then I pay you at harvest. It's not possible with imported feeds. Then also in terms of the cost of importation adds to the cost of the actual cost of the feed. So in terms of getting cheap feeds, it becomes very difficult with imported feeds.